When was the last time you did something for the first time? That is Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker is awesome, one of my favorite singers. And in that song, he's talking about when was the last time you did something for the first time. Well, today in this episode, we're going to be talking about OSHA inspections. And maybe this is the first time you've thought about having an OSHA inspection. Maybe it's the first time you've went through an OSHA inspection. Because the truth is, everyone starts somewhere. And if you've never had one, you will. And if you've already had one, you can still learn how to do it better next time. So in this episode, I want to talk about my OSHA Audit Course, because this is a course I've completely revamped and changed and made better so that everyone will understand what to expect when they go through an unexpected OSHA audit. Let's dive in. Well, hey friend, today I want to talk with you about my OSHA Audit Course, and specifically I'm going to kind of unpack it. So I wanted to start off by talking about how it works. You see, like I just said in the intro, sometimes you've been through an audit and you kind of know what to expect. Some people haven't been through an audit and they don't know what to expect. And I had a light bulb moment a few years ago where I realized there's a lot of managers that have never been through an audit and they don't know what to do. And trust me, I've been there. I've been through an audit. I know the stress, I know the feeling, I know how you feel like you have everything under control and you're doing everything right, but you just don't know what you don't know. And that's the reason I put together this course. I wanted to have a tool, something that managers could use so that after an OSHA audit, they would have something to go back to and to understand what to expect. You see, after my OSHA audit, I went to the internet and I started Googling and trying to find out, what did I have to do? How did I respond? What was the best method? And as a safety coach, I work with managers where they've had OSHA come visit and they reach out to me and they go, David, what do we do? What's next? And I walk them through step by step how to respond to OSHA after an audit so that they paint their company in the best light. They put corrective actions in place so people don't get hurt. They negotiate to reduce fines. So I created a whole kind of checklist for what managers need to do after an audit. Well, I've been working one-on-one with safety managers over the past 5 years doing this. And I've done several audits. I've helped companies. I've helped them reduce fines. I've helped them prevent injuries, but really it's the stress. It's taking the stress off of them because they don't really know what they don't know and they want guidance. And that's what I've offered. I've offered guidance to be able to say, look, I've been there, I've done it. We can get through this together. But I had a light bulb moment where I thought, if I'm helping people do this one-on-one, maybe there's an opportunity where I could actually create a tool that managers could access online and be able to teach them, step by step what to do. And that's really how the OSHA Audit Course was born. I discovered there was, software available where I could record a course and I could explain. And my goal wasn't to make like a 6-hour training course. My goal was to make something that would be about 45 minutes long that a manager could go through in bite-sized chunks and have a notepad and have a little workbook and be able to write down the specifics of their company. And so that's really what I did. I created what I call I'll get it here in a minute, the OSHA Response Course. And this was an online safety course that was designed specifically for managers so they would know how to respond to OSHA after an audit happens. So the goal was really, I was focused primarily on the manager that had an OSHA inspection. OSHA came through, they did an on-site inspection, and that manager was just overwhelmed with all the things they had to do. and they kind of feel like they're on an island, even though, there's other people at the company to help. They feel like, I'm in this by myself. What do I do? And that was the reason I created the OSHA Audit Response course. Now, I created that course, I made the videos, made a workbook to go with it, put it out there into the world, and all of a sudden, I started having managers that said, well, David, I don't have OSHA here right now, but what can I do to prepare my team, my management team? What can I do to prepare my management team for OSHA if they were to come in? Like, how do I get prepared for it? And I thought, oh, well, I just did an OSHA response course. The preparation is something different. And the funny thing is, I had done a half-day workshop with clients where I'd go in and do an entire training event to prepare their management team for an OSHA audit. So we talk about what records you need to have, how to organize your documents, your safety programs, your OSHA log. We went through all the details of the paperwork. We went through what managers would need to do, roles and responsibilities. But it was an on-site workshop, me with a group of 6 or 7 managers kind of explaining, this is what you need to do to be ready. And I just thought, well, all right, I can take that workshop and I can turn that into an online course. And then I'm letting you kind of behind the curtain here because this is the truth. I thought, well, maybe I should have 2 different courses. I'll have one for how to respond after OSHA shows up, and I'll have another course for how to prepare, before OSHA gets there. And I'll have 2 different courses. And I thought, that's stupid. that's not what I would want. If I was a safety manager, I wouldn't want to have to go buy one course and then buy another course. I'd want it all together. And so that's what I've spent the last month doing. I really was revamping and organizing this so that all the content is under one umbrella. And it's my OSHA Audit Course. This is an online training course for HR managers, for company owners, for safety managers, so they know both parts. It includes 2 different sections. So the way it works is when you first get into it, there's a whole course on how to prepare your management team for an unexpected OSHA audit. So that is section 1. In the very beginning, it outlines how to prepare your management team for an unexpected OSHA audit. Now, this is the course every single manufacturing company should take, every single food processing company should take. It covers exactly what you need to know to prepare your company for an audit. So we talk about documents, we talk about programs, we talk about training records, but we also talk about at the beginning what triggers an OSHA inspection. We talk about the most common triggers of an OSHA inspection. Now there's several things that can trigger it, but it really comes down to a few key areas. Number 1, disgruntled employees. So we talk about what it looks like to have disgruntled employees, why they happen, and what you can do to prevent it. We also talk about serious accidents. We talk about industry-specific standards, so things that are targeted for specific industries. And it's really meant to understand this is why OSHA shows up. This is why they come. So we talk about that. Then we break down into the actual framework that OSHA uses. We talk about the opening conference. We talk about the walk around, and I kind of guide you through exactly how that walk around should be managed, because as a manager, it's your job to manage the walk around. Some of the common mistakes managers make when they do this that can lead to really expensive problems down the road. We talk about the roles and responsibilities for companies. And so a big part of preparing your management team for an OSHA audit is making sure people know what they're responsible for, right? We got to make sure people know this isn't his job or her job. This is your job. What does the maintenance manager need to be responsible for? What does the receptionist need to be responsible for? What does the plant manager need to be responsible for? We break it down into different categories, and we talk about the actual process when OSHA shows up. How should you react? How should you respond? What's some really good, helpful things that you can do to get that audit started on the right foot? You can never make a first impression twice. And so we want to make a positive first impression. So that is all in the first section. That's all in the first section. And this is a section where the course is designed to go at your speed, right? I mean, most of us are familiar with online courses. It's a series of videos. You're encouraged to take notes. There's handouts that go along with it. But really, this is for your own benefit. So everything we talk about is going to be taken and customized to fit your company. So that's all in the preparation section, right? This is all how to prepare your team. Now, the second section is what I was talking about earlier. This is what you do after OSHA already shows up. So this is going to be the response portion of the course and how you need to respond after OSHA does an on-site inspection. Talk about timelines, talk about negotiation with the OSHA audit, right? The actual OSHA officer, the regional manager. We talk about how to handle the negotiation process in the informal conference, and ultimately what you can do to prevent another audit from happening. Because number one, our goal is to prevent accidents. We don't want anybody getting hurt. But there's also things you can do to prevent OSHA from coming back out. And if they do come back out, and this can be one of the best, honestly, worth the money right here, is to understand what a repeat violation would look like. Because we don't want any repeat violations. They can be up to 10 times as expensive as the initial citation. So I wanted to share with you today about this OSHA audit course. I think it is well worth your time and effort to dive into this. It's not very long. It's made to be really quick, impactful, so you can take it and digest it. The response course is only about 45 minutes, maybe an hour tops. You can literally watch this after you have an OSHA audit, and it'll explain exactly what you need to do. You can go back and rewatch certain sections of it. Comes with a workbook where you're putting your own information into it. So that's all in the response part. In the preparation part, that's where we're going to talk about how we can prepare so that when OSHA does show up, our team knows exactly what's going to happen. One of the biggest issues is managers just don't know what they don't know, right? If you've never done it, you don't know what to do. Well, this is a way to do a mock audit, to really kind of walk through what's expected before you have an OSHA audit. So I would highly encourage you, check this out. You can download and access this course today. It's on my website, helpwithosha.com. There's an access point where you just click on that, and you can, as soon as you click on it, you purchase the course and you can start working on it today. So it is instantaneous. You got it, you're working on it, and if you do it today, within the next week, you're going to feel light years ahead of where you are right now. So until we talk again, do everything you can to keep the people you work with safe. This is meant to be a tool to help you. Please go to my website, check it out. It'll be well worth your time.